Good morning, everyone. This is once again your host, Shailesh, bringing you live from NZ World News, but also from an emotional well-being series that we started. But today, it's all about totally different topic. And today, I have the pleasure once again to invite Cecily from all the way from States. And this topic is very close to not as a religion, not as a human, not as anything, but it's close to who we are as the souls, we call it. So let's call it ourselves as souls of different planets, of different kinds. And we all are considering we don't know what is soul means, but let's dive into this today with a sole purpose of top topic called spirituality and religion. So these are two different things, but they intertwine, they interconnected, and they impact us. So how does souls gets impacted? That's what we're going to dive into it and talk. So welcome, Cecily, for this beautiful topic, and thank you so much for coming once again to bring this topic live. So for all the listeners, they may have a perspective, they may have something. So let's get dive into it. Welcome, Cecily. Tell us something about what you do, and then we can get into it straight away, the topic.
Perfect. Thank you, Shailesh. Um, I'm overwhelmed. This is actually a really good time for me to talk because it's been an overwhelming week, right? Which
Hmm.
affects your soul.
Yeah.
I am a functional medicine practitioner and I help a lot of women. So I'm a women advocate as well. And I help people with the emotional and mental health aspect
Right.
that we go through, right? And all these trauma and illness. And so, talking about spirituality and what is spirituality, what is religion, how do they interconnect? I think it's a beautiful topic, and not a lot of people want to get into it because they're always afraid. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
talking about religion, but the beauty of it is that I think we need both in our lives, and that is what I feel because religion's very much connecting, like people, like connecting to people,
Mm.
connecting to, or being organized and being able to have those emotional relationships with other people. That's what I think religion does.
Mm.
Spirituality is, to me, it's a connection to a higher power,
Mm.
however, whoever that higher power is.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's kind of the difference, even though religion and spirituality go hand in hand because
Yeah.
you can't have one without the other. But I think
True.
religion offers that more of a group connection
Mm.
than spirituality is more of a one-on-one connection. But that's what I believe.
I can put that into beautifully, very well said. I can put that into a little simple terms for the listeners that you can see that religion, you can see it with your own eyes, obviously, and it is around everywhere, whether it is whatever religion we are. So religions can be seen, can be felt, can be this. But spirituality is something, as you rightly said, higher power, which you don't see, but you can make a connection. And when you make a connection, doesn't have to others to know about it. It's only up to you, and it's only for you, that connection. But that connection makes you give that connection and that perspective unknowingly to everyone. But religion gives you, in simple terms, gives you straight away to everyone. Okay, there is a physical place, whether it's church, temple, mosque, whatever, it's a physical place. And you can easily see it and you can visit it. But spiritual, you only visit it through your own inner peace, inner mind. And I think
Right.
that's simple. I can put it in this way. Whether you agree, disagree, that's besides the point. But this is my view in terms of what I see that as explanation to my own spirits. So let's talk about what is spirituality according to you, Cecily, and what is religion according to you, and why they are so important, and both of them, how they are important to us. But let's define first spirituality and religion. How do you define? What's your definition? Simple terms.
Well, I think spirituality is something very personal.
Hmm.
It's a personal relationship or personal feelings, like I said, with a higher power. But and religion talks about spirituality, having that personal relationship, but you're sharing it with everybody else. So that's the, I think, the
Mm,
difference.
mm,
And that's my definition in easy terms, is you're
yeah.
talking about the spirituality in religion,
Mm,
and you're sharing in this knowledge about
mm,
what is spirituality, maybe teaching you about spirituality, how you can obtain spirituality, and that's more religion. But
mm,
spirituality is something when you already have that personal relationship
mm.
with a higher power, you can feel of other spirits, that connection just with that internal connection instead of the outward connection like with religion.
Yeah, and also I think when religion, no matter whatever religion, it also talks about spirits. It also talks about our ancestors. It also talks about the things that, memories that we come with. So obviously, there is a great interconnection between religion and spirituality. Otherwise, they wouldn't exist if one or the
Right.
other is not there. Just like we say, a day and a night is there, and that's why there is an importance for both. So that's how spirituality and religion has got an importance in their own way. As we always say, there is always two sides to the coin. And even in religion, when we want to believe something or when we want to seek something, we go to religion. But we also believe something in spirits, in spirituality. And we also want to seek what this spirit is all about or how it has come through in my own way. So, families, we are born into different families. So then we identify, okay, I'm born into this religion, I'm born into that religion. We can say that. But then in that same religion, there are people coming out of nowhere and adopting or accepting or exploring different religions, and they are much better in different religions than their own religion. So how do you define that? So then that is what we say then, okay, this is a real good soul, or this is a real different soul, even though it has come in this religion, but it is a different spirit. Does that, kind of resonate, gel, what I'm saying, Cecily?
Yeah, I do. I mean, that painted a beautiful picture,
Mm,
because I think spirit
mm.
means that means everyone, right?
That's right.
Everyone is
Every.
spirit.
Mm.
Religion is grouped. You have different sects, different groups
Yeah.
of religion and religious beliefs where we go together. We can have different learning experiences, and then, oh, I want to go over here and learn about this different experience with spirit. So they
Mm.
each have different experiences with spirit, right?
Yes.
That they're teaching. And it's interesting to go along and see what each different
Mm.
group has to their spiritual teachings. But
Mm.
spirit is just, I think it's across the board,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
We all have spirit. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to touch here, like, we have got spiritual coaches, we have religion coaches, we have got all sorts of things, and they come with their own kind of what you call it, ingredients of both religion and spirit. So they can coach and they can understand both the sides of the coin. So they are able to make understand people who may strongly believe in religion and not believe in spirituality, or strongly believe in spirituality but not believe in religion. Yet that's where you need those coaches. That's where you
mhm.
need those people who can spread their inner voice, spread their knowledge. Just like you do, Cecily, when you do hope and healing, they go hand in hand. So, what is hope and what is healing? So, unless you have experience, unless you know it, unless your inner voice tells you, you won't be able to, say that to other people or resonate with other people's issues or concerns. And then when they get that little advice because of your experiences, then they understand, oh, yeah, it is like that or it is not. So it's very fascinating to talk about this topic today, about religion and about spirituality. But I think let's dive into the impacts and why it is important that we need to each time remind us that we maybe have born in a religion, but reminding us there is way beyond religion, there is something, as you said rightly at the start, a higher power, which is there and which we have to acknowledge. So, whatever that power may be, whatever the religion may say, this is your power, because in my religion, this is what power is. In your religion, this is what power is. Whatever that power, they all talk about power, they all talk about spirits. So, let's dive into this. How does this impact as a soul, as a humans? What do you think about that? How do you explain these kind of things? Let's talk about
Well,
that.
yeah, no, I mean, that is a really good question.
Hmm,
Especially when you're growing up in a certain group or a certain religious belief, right?
correct.
And you are um, your whole childhood is, and that's my childhood was brought up, Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I was grown up in, and I love being a woman of faith, but I also recognize there are so many other groups. There's so many other beautiful religious views out there. And I want to share in that,
Mm-hmm.
in understanding what they believe, because I think, honestly, I think we're all talking about the same higher power. So I'm like,
Exactly.
it's the same higher power. It doesn't, whatever those little intricacies, those little details about the higher power, I think we're just all talking about the same being. So
And that comes to that, the power. So then that comes the power. Do we believe this power or are we seeking this power? This is my next kind of question for you, for us to, understand and see. Because as a child, we have been made believe things. We have been told this is what it is. And we only know that side of it until we grow, until we consciously try to seek something else other than what we have learned. So from believing to seeking, it's a journey that individual has to have. And that's where our spirituality ingredient comes, which is there with everyone. But
yeah.
when they try to seek something knowledge or something exploring some different things in life, whether it is traveling, whether it is education, whether anything, what do you call this? This is not something that comes with us or parents told us as a child that, okay, only you can do only this and you can do only that. They didn't tell us. They just told what they know. They just told, guided us
Mhm.
what they knew. But then we have done many things that they have not done in their life. And that's actually for me as a child, when I grew up and when I understood my consciousness, I understood that, okay, not everything is told by our own parents. Everything has to be learned by us. They are just our guiding, but the power
Right.
is within us. They told us to recognize our power by saying, go and do this, go and explore this. But if we didn't do it, we still do it unknowingly, many things. Even though we may say, I don't want to do it, we still do it. And that is the beauty of the spirit that we all have, because we have deciding our journey with exploration, with exploring things. So believing to exploring or seeking, we call it believing and seeking. They are two different things, but they still intertwined with us, just like
Right.
religion and spirituality. What's your
Yeah. And that's,
experience? Yeah.
oh, no, go ahead.
No, what's your experience in that aspect? I was about to say, ask you that as a child, you grew up, whether it is Christianity, whether it is one particular idol, just like in Hindus, we have got so many idols. But we will talk about that. But how do you made your transition journey, being Christian, bring Christianity, bring brought up into that environment, yet you are what you are doing is hope and healing. There is no religion for it, but you are
Mhm.
doing that. So how for me, if you ask me, then I consider that you are on that higher level of spirituality where you have understood that you are not here to heal just religion. You are here to heal the world, and the world has got every religion, and the world has got every spirits. So when I
Right.
put it that way, so how do you see yourself in that context? If you have to
Well, yeah, if you're talking about my childhood, I was very blessed because the area that I grew up in had a melting pot. of
Mm-hmm.
different immigrants coming from different countries. And so I got to experience
Mm-hmm.
and get to know a lot of people with different religious backgrounds.
Right.
And it was really neat listening to my friends about their culture and what and their beliefs, their religious beliefs. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew and was able to connect. And I'm like, we're all connected spiritually. All of us are. We all, no matter what we believe, we are all connected.
Absolutely.
And that helped me when I growing up to have a different perspective because I
Mm-hmm.
got that experience with other religions and different groups that believed in different things. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how my perspective started.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as hope and healing, I think that, and anybody, if you look at most any religion, they're going to say the same thing where hope is positive, right? That they want to talk about hope. They
Yeah.
want to um, give people that essence of upliftment and hope in light. That's what
Mm.
I'm trying to say, light within them, right? Most religions, that's what they want is that light
Absolutely.
within
The
you.
light. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you combine and you look at that, hope is almost a combination of all those religions,
Mm, mm,
right? Of all of them.
mm,
And so if you that you're right, it is a higher calling
mm.
because it embodies all everybody.
Mm. Because when you said no, we are all connected, we are all one kind of thing, that feeling, that sense we get. And that because we have that higher power to sense it, to understand it, because we are humans. We are not standstill plants, or we are not standstill, like, or we are not someone who are just have one activity to do. So obviously, we explore a lot and we can understand a lot, and we understand different people, different humans' minds, and that's how we interact. Look, today I am here coming from I would call it whether I am Hindu or not, but I come from a Hindu background, right? Religion wise. You come from a Christian background. You are in there, I am here in New Zealand, you are in America. But look at the connection, as you said, we are all connected. How do we get connected when we are so different, two different religions? You know, in ideal world, religion would protest and say that no, you got to be only with your religion, or you got to be only with your, no, but that's not what it is. We may say that, religions may say that, but it's not about that, because it has proved time and again, and these religions have proved time and again that we all are one. Our preachings, our gods, or our so-called power teaches us to connect with everyone, and they never differentiate. They never differentiate. Now, certain things, certain elements may are so different that we may think, how do we get connected if we are so different in our thoughts, if we are so different in our habits, if we are so different in our traditional wearing or eating or culturally, whatever you call it, we are different. But that's the beauty of the universe, that collectively we may be different, but we still come together to enjoy each other's different colors or different cultures. So
Mm,
as we say that we don't like one color, we may individually like one color and this color, but when you look at the rainbow, everybody says this is beauty. This is a beautiful creation, right?
right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I,
That you
I
just hit it right there.
Yeah, and I personally feel experience that because as you said, like you have come across so many multicultural people in your life, and we still get connected no matter what age doesn't define, or anything
Mhm.
doesn't define to get connections. It's just there, and we just get connected because we are spirits, and we are souls. And that's the impact this religion can make to our souls, or that's the spiritual can make an impact to our souls. So, from that perspective, when you say, when you want to heal someone, when you want to give a hope to someone, you don't see religion at that time. You don't even see anything at that time other than one and one goal of how do I heal this person? And there is no expectations or agenda or attachments involved in it. It is pure like a water. It is pure like a air that you want to make a difference. Just like air gives us, life, water gives us life. But this is exactly what we humans give a life when we connect, when we communicate. Otherwise, life is nothing, isn't it? If I was not able to talk
Right.
to Cecily or any other person, then that's not life for me. That is just I am a statue, or I am just a hoardings, which is only to be looked at. That's all it I will become. But that's the beauty, that we don't become like that. So let me ask you something, that in your own experiences and everything, when we are talking about this amazing topic, because this topic is not everybody's kind of resonating topic, or they may differ prima facie or predetermination. I don't want to know about this religion. I don't want to know about spirituality.
Mhm.
There are so many divided views on this, which is
Yeah.
fine, because that's their due. But that's the beauty, is until they explore, until they seek anything in life, not just these two topics, anything in life, until they explore, they will not know whether it is meant for them or not, or whether they resonate or not. Because people forget one basic fundamental facts of a human being, is the blood, of the color of the blood runs same in every human. Yet
That's
they
right.
want to deny. Yet they are in
Yeah.
denial, and they don't want to put any resonation to it. They just want to say, no, I may have same blood, but I am still different. How can you be still different if you have the same blood that makes you alive? You know? So that takes a lot of effort and lot of seeking and lot of self-realization, I guess, from that point of view, to before they make a decision about their own, that no, I have to make sure that we all are one and we all can work together, no matter whether we come from different background, we still work together. So that's something has definitely for everybody to think about it. But in terms of, let's dive into the impacts that it creates. There is no impact of positive unless there is a negative impact, or vice versa. So when you look at that angle, tell me something about your views and experiences in terms of the impacts that these two topics or these two words does to us.
Yeah. Well, so talking about the negative impact,
Mm,
there's things that my family and we've been, because of my beliefs, have been said very negatively,
mm,
despite the actions. And then vice versa, where people have seen my actions and seen the person that I am, and they're like, oh wow, great, that's, it
mm,
doesn't matter what you believe, I see the fruits, I see what you are doing and how you are helping,
mm,
and the goodness, right, when you see the actions and what is
mhm,
produced by those actions. So to answer your question, it is hard when people base their opinions on you based on religious views. And my advice to people is that you don't those small little differences that we have
mm,
really don't matter. What matters is the light that
mm,
you are inside, who you are, and that we are all human. We're all
mm,
the same. We're human. Doesn't matter, like you said, doesn't matter. There's a color, there's a
mm.
rainbow.
Yeah.
And those, when you tell somebody, hey, I don't like you because of your beliefs, what
Mm,
does that say about you as
mm,
a person?
true.
Right? That light just dimmed inside
Mm,
of you,
mm,
not being able to understand that person. And to me, that's the hardest part about religion, is not being open
mm,
to other people and what they believe in, because we're all, like you said, connected spiritually. We
mm.
all have spirit, every single
Correct.
one of us.
Correct.
And just because we have a difference of opinion doesn't mean we're not all the same,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So we may have differences, which is good. Isn't it good to have differences? It's
Of
good to
course.
have different opinions, different ideas. That is what makes this world beautiful, is because we have different ideas. And what is even more beautiful is when you look at those ideas and you can connect with people and be happy for them with their
Mm.
ideas.
Because somewhere in everyone, we resonate with different ideas, which we have not even thought of. And you may not think, but you may like someone's idea because it is inside you that has
Yeah,
not yet come out. So
exactly.
that's exactly what it is. But I think let's also I want to like make this here also one more topic in terms of this what you said just now is we all are different, and if otherwise they'll be boring if only one thing was there and we had to look every time the same old thing. It will we will just like lose our motivation, lose our zest, lose our energy to do anything and everything. We will just finish, and we can't create anything out of that one thing. If there was only one thing, if there was only one color, if there was only one idea, if there was only one ideology, then look what today, whether it is politics, whether it is anything, everybody tries to make the most of it through these two aspects of religion and spirituality. And I personally feel that if I have to now dissect this topic into a different layer, which is, I personally feel that, you know, religion, is it impacting us as a make-believe things, or is it a religion that needs to be understood well enough so that we understand the spirituality as well? Because they are so important. Because there are people who preach religion according to what they perceive, what they think it is. And then there is a research being done, and then there is everywhere, every time a new priest comes in or new, those preachers comes in, and they interpret in their own way. And we sometimes resonate, sometimes we don't. But the ultimate goal to affect us, to impact us as soul, do we think that these make-believe things of religion is just a make-believe things, or it is just a guidance for us to understand and uncover rather than depending on someone to preach? How do you see this as? And then I will tell
Uh,
you something. Hmm.
Well, I think that being guided is always a good thing,
Correct.
because you have different views, and if you have a community that you resonate with, that's a
Hmm.
good thing, right? If you resonate with a preacher or a priest or whoever, right? If you resonate with that community, then that is always a good thing, because community, and we need community.
Correct.
And as far as guidance, boy, I've learned so many things from leaders, and then I learned things not to do from
Yeah.
other people, right? You learn these different
Yeah.
ideas, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't resonate with me, that's not what I believe, and
Hmm.
it's okay. So I think it's good to have leaders give their opinions, give their what they believe in, because
Hmm.
then it helps you decide what is inside of you and what
It is
helps
inside.
you
Yeah.
with your spirituality. So
Hmm.
I'm okay with guidance, but number one, ask questions.
Yeah.
Question everything.
Yeah.
Look for it yourself.
Hmm.
Research information, look inside yourself, because when they're telling you something, you need to make sure that it resonates with you.
100%. So that brings to my thing of after understanding a little bit about religion, little bit about spirituality, how does it affect? What are the core values of both the things? If we analyze it, what do they tell us? The both aspects. What do they tell us as a soul? How would you say, and what would you say? And then I will give you a little bit about my views as well on that. But let me understand from you. What do they actually tell us? These both the things as a soul.
Yeah, good question. My goodness, you always come up with a good question. And I'm like, oh, darn it, I have to think. So,
I will
okay.
give you my version, but let's
Okay.
understand your
Okay.
version first.
Yeah, so soul to me is exactly looks like your own body. That's what
Mhm.
I believe.
Absolutely.
It is
It's
exactly
a mirror.
what your body, it's a mirror image, right? Mirror
Yeah,
image of your body that
yeah.
lives inside of you. That's what I believe soul is.
No, that's true. But if I ask you this religion and spirituality, these are two different. We talk both of the aspects. How do they affect that soul? What do they
Oh,
tell the
yeah.
soul? What do they tell us to do? Both the things, what are they telling us?
So I think spirituality is a deeper connection to the soul
Mm-hmm.
because it is that personal relationship with a higher power or other spiritual beings or whatever. That's what spirituality is that deep connection. Religion, as far as soul, will kind of guide us on soul purpose topics
Mm.
or discussions about what is like what we just said. What is the
Yeah,
soul? Where are we going? What
yeah,
are we going to do? Is there life after death? And that's
yeah.
religion, right? To
Correct,
give you
correct.
that idea and
Yeah,
what their ideas are about
yeah.
just topics of the soul.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to uncover from you that okay, what is life? What are they telling us to do and where do they take us? And as you rightly said, what is life after death or what is death or what is the meaning of life and how do we live? So in my version would be similar to that, but I will my deeper connection with the understanding of what is religion telling me to do since the day I understood my life and purpose, and everybody understands their life and purpose in some stage of their life. The religions tells you something, the spirituality tells you something, but what do they actually tell me and told me and what I understood is how to live every single moment of my journey. And sometimes you think, okay, religion is telling me to go to this temple, visit this church, with that temple, with this person. But then spirituality tells me always, always do good to the humanity. And
Yeah.
that's what the religion also tells is about humanity. So when I looked at my analysis of what have they told me or what have they taught me, they have taught me a way of life in simple terms. What is my way of life? Because everybody can have a different way of life based on their beliefs of religion or based on their spirituality realization or self-realization, we call it. So, but ultimately they both tell us is way of life. So we should not get mixed up saying that, oh, religion is good, then spirituality, or spiritual is good, then religion. There is no such thing as good and bad and higher and lower because they both takes you to the higher power to
Yeah.
recognize our higher power. They both tells you in life to live, and what they want to teach us is you have to acknowledge the higher power within you, and you
Yeah.
got to do that, right? So this is something.
Yeah. And I feel like that spirituality is almost like our compass,
You're right.
right? So you've got religion, you've got these guides, you've got these, different people telling us about topics, spiritual
Mm-hmm.
or religious topics.
Yeah.
And the spiritual or soul is a compass of what we resonate with on these
Mm.
topics. It's kind of that guide. I think we all have an internal compass in our soul that
Yep.
helps us connect or resonate with what somebody is telling us.
Mm.
And is that something that is true to me? Does this sit right to me? That's what I think soul and spirituality does, is that
Yeah.
internal guide for us.
Mm. And I want to dissect here. There's which is very a little bit different, but it is very like you may say it's a hypothetical. But let's see what's your view on it. Sometimes as we say religion, we can see it by through temples, through physical buildings. We can see religion. Spirituality, we have to find innerly, right? So similar thing, if you like the when I talked about teaching, what these two teach us as a human or as a soul is sometimes you don't see it what they are teaching, you just resonate with your own kind of feelings and views, and then sometimes you feel that okay, I have not been told how to live a life, but why am I doing this then the way I am doing? Who is telling me to do this? It's a little bit hypothetical, little bit something deeper to dive into, and not many would ask this kind of, as you said rightly before, we have to ask questions. So I'm asking this question to myself and making myself a little bit more interesting this topic. So when I'm looking at things, that who is driving me to do what I am doing today or now, you know Is it the religion? Is it the spirit inside me? Or is it the spirituality? I can't see this, but I'm
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, you're talking about discernment. This is what I call
Hmm.
discernment.
Okay.
And discernment kind of is part of that internal compass of deciding, is this somebody trying to influence me? Is it my
Mm.
spirit?
Mm.
Is it my soul? Is my internal compass, or is it just the environment around me? And that's what I think discernment does, that we're each given this gift of being able to figure these things out for ourselves and listen to our soul. Right?
And
I
that's
think it's
why,
really important.
and that's why we all do different things, but we all resonate to most of the things. And wherever we resonate, we are drawn to it. And then we try to make that as our life journey. We try to make that as our, way of life. So in
Because
Hindu,
we're all different. We are
yeah,
all different.
we are all
Not
different.
everybody needs the same thing.
Correct. Otherwise, it will be boring.
Yes.
We connect because we are different. If we were same, it's a less chance of connection. It's only a way of like, okay, I understand, you understand, same thing, we do the same thing, then we get bored after some time, and then we want something different, right? It's like all our intakes of food also, if you look at so many colors of foods, and
Mm.
everybody likes different colors of food, but everybody likes different. But if at all they have to do one color, eat every day, they will get bored, basically, and they will not be happy. So the way we are felt of doing things differently is the most beautiful, amazing thing that ever we have to realize it as a human, as a soul, that we are born to do many things differently. Otherwise, it will not.
Like, yeah. So here's something else that
Hmm.
maybe will blow your mind. Think
Hmm.
about, as
Hmm.
the higher power or creator, however you want to call it,
Hmm.
that each of us were, as a person, we are all different. And can you imagine all the billions and trillions of people that have lived on this earth, and
Mm.
we're all created different. Not a single one of us are the
Mm.
same, not
Yeah,
one person. And so, if we have all these different characteristics, all these different personalities,
yeah,
why would you even think that we're supposed to all have the same likes and
yeah.
what resonates with us? We're
Mm.
all different.
Yeah. Absolutely, very well said. Because that's what makes us different. That's what makes us religion respect each other or talked about or understand why you are doing this and how come you are born in that and I'm not born in that. Even though I like what you do, but I'm not born in that. Even though you don't like about me, but still I'm born in that. It's so amazing to even understand, even analyze every single day. What am I doing? Why I'm supposed to do this? Why I'm not supposed to do what these people are doing? You know? So when you look at, but there is nothing stopping. So to all the listeners, I can say one thing. There is nothing stopping you to explore anything and everything of any religion. We respect you, whatever mind, thoughts you come from. You are not supposed to live a life or journey or way of your life should be only one way and no other way. It's not supposed to be. You can have multiple pathways. That's why if you look at all the spiritual leaders, whoever in the past has come from, whatever religion they have come from, what are they telling us? They're telling in their own way their journey. They're telling in their own way a pathway. And we are supposed to adopt certain ingredients which we already have. But when we resonate with some pathways, then we say, okay, I want this goal. But there are so many ways of achieving that goals. And all spiritual leaders have come up with different pathways to achieve that same goal. So what do we want? Everybody wants inner peace. That's one thing which is inevitable, just like birth, just like death. Inner peace is inevitable. That's what we want. That's what we are looking for. Otherwise, we are always struggling. We are always, misunderstanding or making us struggle unnecessarily. But if you adopt certain pathway, then it's so amazing, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, in Hindu religion, there is so many gods or so-called powers that everybody preaches. However, they all tell us and they all give us a way of life to one thing is inner peace. And everybody goes to them for inner peace. Nobody goes to them that they are going to get extra special or whatever, but their belief make them to go there. But then seeking is something they are looking for all the time with all this power. We go to a power to seek something, just like when we talk about sun and moon and all other mountains and rivers, and they are all pathways for us as a human, as a soul. And we seek something from them. We are always seeking something from them, and everybody has got a different kind of interpretation of these things. But that's the beauty of it, that you look sun as a
Yeah.
god, or you look sun as a power, and I look sun as energy, and I look sun as something else, and it's okay. But look at the beautiful ideas that we come from. We are different, but then we are all attaining the same.
Yeah, I thank you for sharing your beliefs with me because it's beautiful hearing different beliefs because it hits the soul, right? To
Yes.
learn
Exactly.
about different things that resonate with people,
Mm.
and that's how you can connect, is
Mm.
learning about other people's opinions. That's actually showing love,
Absolutely.
right? When you are interested in a person and their beliefs and their religion or spirituality, it just shows a person love. And so, if we could just connect, if all of us could just connect and listen to the
Yeah.
beliefs, oh my gosh, could you imagine how amazing our world would be?
Oh, 100%, 100%, 100%. Well, if I look at, I also understood a little bit about, not much. I don't read books and all, but like Bible, for instance, or for Bhagavad Gita, for instance, in India. They all teachers, they may have come from a certain origin of religion. However, they don't stick to that religion. They want to spread the word to the wider section of the universe. They never meant only for their religion. If you look at Jesus Christ, he was born, reborn. We talk about same thing. If you look at Hindu Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Krishna was born, reborn. Even when you look at that, but what was their goal? Is to teach the way of life to the humanity. Their main purpose is humanity. So when I
Right.
looked at it, I didn't see any difference in Bible and Bhagavad Gita, to be honest. But in fact, I felt that they are more closer, more interconnected when it comes to spreading the soul, or when it comes to impacting the souls of that we humans call ourselves. So I was very fascinated when what is it? Oh, my Hindu has got so many languages, so many dialects. So in Hindu itself, there are so many gods. But then the Bhagavad Gita doesn't talk about any particular religion. The Bhagavad Gita talks about only way of life. It has got no color of caste, religion, anything. It has got no names or identities. It has only got way of life. So it treats a tree as a tree, and not tree belong to this religion. It treats the sun as the sun, not belong to any religion. It's giving you a way of life to understand how to live your life. So it doesn't tell you to hurt another person because he's from another religion. It doesn't teaches you any hatred. What it teaches you only to spread the love. But it also tells you that I am in everywhere. I am in the negative, I am in the positive, I am in the dark, I am in the light. But what who you are is a light, which you said at the start, like light. We are all light to spread the light.
Yep.
And that's something that I understood as a way of life. That, when we talked about, we picked up this topic today, spirituality and religion, on a purpose where we can make understand ourselves to start with, like, why do we have, how does it impact us? And why do we want to talk about this, so that we get more and more deeper seeking of these topics and deeper knowledge, and dive into deeper, that there is life beyond religion, there is life beyond spirituality, which is a bigger, higher power that we all have, and we have to come together, right?
Right.
So I think
Exactly.
it's amazing, Cecily. Do you want to add something in this topic?
Well, yeah, one thing that I've recognized that most religions have in common is the phrase do no harm,
That's
right?
right.
Most religions, that is the embodiment
Mm-hmm.
of the religion. That's the more morality, right? Behind most religions is do no harm.
Mm-hmm.
And when I always tell people, so if that is their basis of religion is do no harm, then what a beautiful thing to learn about, no matter what religion. That's a beautiful thing to understand and to incorporate into your life, because that is light, that is goodness, that is to
Mm.
me that's goodness, right? That is developing your own internal uh, I want to say divinity. I don't know if that's a good, but
Mm-hmm.
your divine nature, I guess,
Yeah, yeah, divine
is
nature. Because this is what, see, divine is something which, again, is a word like spirituality, is a word like religion. And what they attain to us, what they give us, when we think about religion, we get peace. When we think about spirit, we get peace. And divine is also peace. So I think you are right in saying divine. I'll go with that. Go ahead.
yeah. So yeah, the divinity or the divine
Mm,
that's within us is do no harm. And that to me, I think is across the board on a lot of religions that I've learned about.
mm,
And so they're all beautiful when
mm.
they have that basis, right? If that is
Absolutely.
their baseline belief,
Mm,
then that is good to me. That is
yeah.
goodness. And I want to understand, I want to learn more when that
Mm.
is the baseline of the belief system in those religions.
Do you mind if I bring a little politics in this? Not politics as such, but
Sure.
I want to analyze this with our this conversation because this has gone to a length where we have dissected so many layers and so many things. I just want to bring a pinch of salt, you can call it, with the current topic of when you look at America's election, there are two political parties. One is a Democratic, one is a Republic. Only two. So which means we have got two ideologies.
Hmm.
And if you look at why I've picked up this, because we are talking spirituality and religion, two topics, right? So I'm resonating that with two topics. But in back in India, there are many, many political parties, many, many ideologies, different ideologies. It's a democratic country, but it has got religion, it has got republic, it has got communism, it has got all other different kind of agenda-based parties,
Hmm.
agenda-based political parties. Why I want to bring this? Because we talked about so many different layers of human. And when they come together, that's where we become a beautiful thing. But when we are divided on it on our own, then it doesn't become beautiful. It's just we divide ourselves and we try to pull everyone into our own kind of agenda. And that's not a better world, as you rightly said, that,
Yeah.
do not harm or do no harm or divinity only comes when we have this basic fundamental principle that before we say I am a political party or before we say this is my ideology, am I creating harm by doing this or not? That's the
Yeah.
thing I wanted to bring here and just resonate that, So in America, there are two ideologies, but they don't talk about religion, they don't talk about this, but there is two political agenda. And
Right.
to like one democratic people say, okay, democratic means let's give chance to everyone, don't harm anyone. However, republic might say, okay, this is my way or highway. There is no other way. I am the best teacher for you all. Do this way and you will be better. I am the best intelligence. I have the best intelligence to make your life better. So one ideology says, I am the one who can make your life better. So people drawn to it. Another democratic way, no, you all are can have a say. Whether in reality it happens or not, that's a different thing. But this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and it's interesting though, because I've heard people turn it where it's vice versa, where
Hmm.
Republic is, hey, we want you to have free agency to
Correct.
do what you want, and then
Yeah.
Democratic, no, we want you to do what I want to do.
What
So
I-
it goes both ways, and
Exactly.
here's how you have to tell
Hmm.
is what what do these people that are representing the each party,
Hmm.
what are they standing for?
Correct.
What do they stand for? What are they going to do for people? That's how you have to base your decision, no
Mm,
matter what party it is, right? Because
exactly.
you can turn the tables on both sides are saying the same thing. No, I want freedom, I want freedom. Both
Yeah.
sides,
Yeah. Correct.
right? And
Correct.
so you have to look and get really dive deep into what are these people? What do they believe?
Mm,
What is their agenda? What
mm,
do they want to do for the country? And that to me
exactly.
is where you pick
Mm,
which political leader you want to stand
mm,
for. Do they represent you?
mm.
And that's what I
Yeah.
tell people when they get into all of the politics. I'm like, do they represent you? Is it
Absolutely.
your views? And
Mm.
then that's who you decide.
I think very well said to end this topic as well, because I think to all the listeners, I want to say this with that note is like, is rightly said, which I also say to people over here that whether Democratic, whether Republic, whether any political party, whether any ideology, are they policies are good for you as a soul, as a human, as a father, as a mother, as a daughter, as a son, as a friend, as a colleague? Are these policies going to be good for you as a family, as a society, as a community?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
If they are not
Well
good,
said.
then they are not good, basically.
Yeah.
And if you look at religion and spirituality, what does they tell us? Is they tell us like do good to everyone
Mhm.
around you, within you. Do good with good intentions, everything comes. So I think from that perspective, you said, and I had my own views of this beautiful topic, but I think ending the political spectrum, because why political I brought in is because we want to heal the world as a
Yes.
collective, not as an individual only. And
Yeah. And
unless
I was
Hmm,
telling you before we did this, hey, it doesn't matter your political views to me. Are
correct,
you a good person inside? Are
correct,
you trying to do your best? Are you
correct,
doing no harm? It
correct.
doesn't matter
Yep.
to me.
Yeah, I guess that's the beautiful end note. I can say that. So, Cecily, this is amazing, and this is a never-ending kind of a topic to start with because we breathe in every single moment. Either way of looking at higher power, either way of looking at religion, either way of looking at our spiritual aspect and ingredient and concepts that we come with and we build and we create. Because that's what it is. See, when you create, there's a lot of layers come with it. When you build something, there's a lot of layers comes with it automatically. But how do you manage this with your own kind of belief system or seeking system that you have yourself within you? With only one goal is to do good to everyone. No matter you may be creator, no matter whatever you are. The power, as you said, like, we have got, everyone has got a higher power that tells us to do some things. And so I would like to end up, and then I will end up with you. I want to end up with this one simple understanding that I got. Why did Albert Einstein was born as a human? Why did Edison, so many beautiful researchers, scientists who gave this universe, who gave the humans a hope, a healing aspect, a hope aspect, but also whether they believed in religion, whether they believed in spirituality, doesn't matter. What they did is good for the community with one goal, good for the community. So I want to end up this by acknowledging those beautiful humans and souls, I call it, who came into this universe and who gave us so many things, basically. So if with that note, like mathematics. So if India has got mathematicians and if China has got these, it doesn't matter where they come from. It's the good that they have done. And that's what
Yeah,
we should acknowledge. With that note, I
absolutely.
want you to end up this conversation with what you felt about this topic and how amazing we all can really resonate with this and what the way we should adopt or what the way we should do. how to live our life, a simple life that we all have. Tell me, Cecily, your final words into this topic.
Well, I appreciate your beautiful words, Shailesh, because it helps me grow. And this just being here, two different ideologies, two different religious backgrounds, and being able to come together as
Mm,
people, as spirit,
yes.
that's so powerful. And it teaches people it doesn't matter those
Mm,
religious beliefs, we can come together as humans and as souls in spirituality and agree on on these topics, right?
mm,
Topics, light topics and divine topics.
mm,
And so I appreciate you coming on and asking those hard questions because I
mm.
want people to ask those questions, right? That's
True.
really important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you for
Absolutely.
doing that and providing this safe space
Mm,
because that's what I feel when we're talking about these different topics is you provide a very safe
mm.
space for having these conversations, and I
True.
think that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely. There is a saying I always tell to myself, you may not agree with everything, you may disagree with everything, but doesn't matter. Learn, agree to disagree, and disagree to agree. If you learn that simple thing in life, just like, we say, I want this, my right hand is, or right brain is telling me this, my left brain is telling me this. They both are your brain. Agreeing and disagreeing is all within you. They both are you. So why do you want to divide and separate them out? In fact, learn to accept it and live with it. And that's the best challenge any human can have. And that's the most
Absolutely.
challenging human aspect that we all have. And the people who learn to accept that, they move on and then they become scientists and researchers and they become so many beautiful, amazing humans and souls that one would wonder, okay, they never had any problems. No, they did. Or they had only good things. No, they didn't. They had all the things in their life too. I mean, I remember this Albert Einstein's little bit of story history. I know I don't know much about it, but I was told that he was, as a child, as a teenage, as a middle age, whatever, he only was recognized after a long, long period of time. He was recognized. He was not recognized straight away. It took years. But then look at his persistence to continue doing things what he wanted to. And that's what, so he must have so many disagreements. He must have so many agreements in his life. One would not have imagined. Yet he lived with so many people who disagreed with him at that point. And that's the beauty of us in bringing this topic. Spirituality is the one, or the religion is the one. There is no such thing as one thing. There is no silver bullet for our life. There's only one thing, is as you rightly said before, we come together as souls. We create beautiful, unique, safe space to talk about your culture, your religion, my culture, my religion, yet enjoy this beautiful journey to understand our own understanding. I would put it this way. So,
Yeah.
with that,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Cecily, for this amazing, amazing conversation we have. I guess we probably like to dissect more and more into this for our listeners to understand and make this world a better place. So, you already are doing in that space hope and healing, which is also great. But I think this religion also does good, spirituality also does good. So, all the listeners, amazingly, you have been patient, and please don't have any offending or anything that you may think this religion. We have not offended anyone, but what we have done is analyzed it in our own way, in our own simple mind, that we are common men, but we do common things and we want to learn more and more. With that note, thank you, Cecily, for this amazing conversation I had with you. And
Thank
we will
you.
looking forward to once again another beautiful topic, and we will come back To all the listeners, please write to us whatever you like about us, whatever you didn't like about us, because we accept everything. And so we get the opportunity to learn from what we can learn as well. With that note, thank you very much to all the
Thank
listeners.
you.